Hello and welcome back to Thaiger Bites. We've had our coffee and are refreshed and ready for your comments. So if you do have any live comments, as you already know, this is live, so please keep the comments coming in. Tim is in charge of the live comments. You can address it to him. You can address it to me. Let us know whatever you want us to know or ask us. I will start us off today with a comment here from Morpheus, who says, "Hi guys, some trivia for you. The word you are looking for is balcony, mainly because you are in a high-rise building with a view. Same, hotel, ship, etc. A veranda is a fixed roof structure."
I've got a big black screen.
Oh no.
Jason, I've got a big black screen.
Are we live? Are we live?
If I should worry about that?
I'm checking. It's a delay.
It's coming up. Oh, was
it's
a delay. I'm sorry. So we can't take that little 10 seconds out, so just moving on.
Right, moving on. So Morpheus had a comment regarding, we were actually shooting one of the Good Morning Thailands from the veranda, we called it. Morpheus is letting us know that it is actually a balcony and it's not a veranda. So get it right, Tim.
Balcony, and it wasn't a rooftop either.
Yes, it was definitely not a rooftop. So balcony, let's go with balcony. There was about 50 comments just about this.
And giving us all sorts of other synonyms that we could have used instead of veranda.
Yeah.
A sort of a veranda, I think, it's in an open space, and that is a balcony. You're right, we were wrong.
Yes.
Now, interesting comment from Steve Austin, who says, Mr. Newton, he's being very polite. If a passenger, the only person in the entire world that calls me Mr. Newton, if a passenger on your flight tests positive for COVID, would you be required to quarantine or anything? I believe so, yes. But I'm not 100% sure about that. And that particular question hasn't been answered at this stage. Certainly if you test positive, you'll have to be shuffled off to an ASQ. There hasn't been any announcement about passengers on flights, but that's been the practice in the past, certainly regarding the Sandbox, and I'm not sure why the situation in November would be any different. But the honest answer, Steve, is we're not 100% sure, but I'm thinking yes is probably the answer.
Right. I've got a very strong comment here from ASL. Are you ready for this, Tim? He's telling us Thai people don't understand sarcasm and banter is just plain stupid and insults Thai people. The Thaiger is fast becoming a joke of a channel, no doubt, because of Mike and his merry men. And stop this ridiculous coffee spiel. It's become very annoying now. Wow, ASL.
Is he talking about coffeeculture.com?
Yeah, that provide us these beautiful mugs as well as your blended ground and coffee beans coffee.
So ASL?
Yes, ASL.
We won't talk about the new taster packs that are now available from Coffee Culture.
That's right.
Because it might annoy you. So we won't talk about any of these great little taster packs that are now available from
We will definitely not force you to buy the big bags. You could actually taste them first in this beautiful box and different flavors. But yeah, we will not force you to buy it. We just want to let you know that it's there.
We won't talk about coffeeculture.com at all.
Yeah. And we do like to, call not necessarily comedians, but happy, fun people. So the fact that we're becoming a joke to you is actually a compliment. Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joe Hoydrum says, with the schools reopening, teachers and students are required to do the COVID ATK test twice a week. Do you think that this will work? Yeah, I've... one of the housemates in our house is a teacher and is probably going back to school next week. And the question was, what's going to happen with the students? What's going to happen with testing? So I think this is one of those other things that we just don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I think some schools will have different procedures from other schools. Like a lot of things around Thailand, there are policies, then there's what happens on the ground and the reality, and the two can be very different things. And the international schools may have their own procedures as well. So let's watch out for that. We'll certainly publish it when we know.
Right. My next comment here is from Laurie Calderon, who says, nice to hear that they're trying to make it easier for domestic travelers, although I think it is more like they're just inconsistent. Heard that from another friend too. there's a clinic where you can go to do your antigen test online via video chat and still end up not being asked nor checked before departure or upon arrival to Phuket. So why asking people to do it if they don't even check it? Wasting people's money. Laurie, I understand your frustration. A lot of the times, people have said that they don't even get checked for their vaccination or their PCR test or their antigen tests. So Laurie does have a point. Why do it if people are not really checking? I guess you do it because, firstly, it's required, and secondly, if they do check, you don't want to be the one who gets caught.
Yeah, I figure that they're going to be doing random checks.
Yes.
Because it's difficult to get the check-in staff who are very good at putting labels on bags and doing bookings and assigning seats to ask them to be the arbiters of public health policy. So that's the system they currently have at the airports. Juan Carlos, very important question, says, how long before the girls leave Isan and go back to the bars? Good question. And we don't have an answer for that one either, except to say that at some stage when the tourists start coming back, there will be a demand, and then at that stage, I suppose that demand will be met.
Right. Moving on, I've got a comment here from Bob M, who says, thanks, Jay. Your hand gestures, especially the one explaining the shape of a crown and a saloon, are much better than a picture. Keep it up for the humor. Bob M, thank you. My comment so far, one of my favorite comments has still been that Jay often uses his hands and uses hand gestures like he's making balloon animals, which I do. And that's mainly
Do
because
you make balloon animals?
I don't know what to do with these hands. What do I do with these hands?
Sorry, you make balloon animals?
Part-time balloon animal making. That's what I do when I'm done with my job here. Did you not know that? Tim.
I think he's having a go at me. Great conversations, says Healthy Water Innovations. You guys, as learning about news of Thailand, thinking to visit in January. I think I sort of got the general gist of that. Look forward to seeing you.
Right. I've got a question here from Mr. Fat, who says, Jay, I'm in Vietnam, right? Question mark. A tip. Phuket is pronounced Phu Quoc here. We don't pronounce PH as a P like Thais do. We pronounce it as F. So my name sounds like Fat. So thank you, Mr. Fat. I now know that Phuket is actually pronounced Phu Quoc.
I understand, after we spoke about Phu Qua yesterday, that we don't say the C at the end.
Oh.
So the PH is right, though.
Phu Qua.
Phu Qua.
Phu Qua.
We were talking about it because it's a bit of an up-and-coming island, and it's going to be opening up, despite what Mr. Fat says.
Yeah.
They say the tourism offices in Vietnam say it's going to be opening up in mid-November. We have a question here from Mark in Thailand. Jay Crane, check your government or Medicare app. There is an updated certificate. I don't understand what they're talking about. There is sort of a show happening
within
the comments
the show.
section.
Yes.
So I sort of have to try and
Notice that.
get through all that. We are doing this live, and you can throw some questions in here.
Yeah.
We will be honest with our answers. If we don't know the answer, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
If we've got a rough guess, we'll tell you and tell you that it's a rough guess.
Oh, Kevo's got a question for you.
Tim, that's me. How has your pool held up now that you've had a few months? We're going to get one. Yeah, I've got one of those. It's called I've got to get the brand right. It's an easy set pool from Intertex or somebody's going to tell me in just a moment. It's basically this huge. It's very hard. You're going to have to describe with your hands because I don't do it very well. That's it. And it's got an inflatable bit around the top, so when you put the water in, the sides of the plastic pool come up. It's around about 1.25 metres high.
Oh, okay.
Mine's 5 metres across and contains 14,000 litres of water.
Wow.
I don't know how many gallons that is.
Okay.
It's held up very well. I've had it since February this year. It is the best 12,000 baht I ever spent. It looks like a kid's toy, albeit a very, very big kid's toy.
Yep.
But it came with a filter.
Yep.
Intertex, I think that's what they're called. Mm-hmm. Do I Google it?
I don't know.
No,
Let's go with
let
it. Let's go with it.
Big blue. It's not particularly attractive, but it's a damn good pool, and I love it. Thanks for asking.
Right. My next comment here is from Philip regarding Moderna vaccines. This is something that I was talking about yesterday, and he's gone all out. And he says, Jay, what are you talking about? booster Moderna vaccines, you've got no chance. My wife and myself and thousands of other people, blah, blah, blah. We have emails. We are number 22,307, blah, blah, blah. You have no chance getting boosters of Moderna. They are paid for already, blah, 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 something, something, something. Philip,
Did he say blah, blah, blah?
No,
Or
he just went
You were just
on and
filling
on.
in the
Yeah,
gaps.
I was just filling in the gaps. Philip, firstly, Chai yen yen, my friend. Relax. It's okay. My point was that, yes, I am very well aware that the Moderna vaccines have already been prepaid. This is only available to people who have registered and paid for these vaccines. But like I said, they can be transferred to other people and or delayed. And I was saying that these vaccines can be used as a booster if you've already had vaccines. So perhaps you might have missed some information that I said already, but you didn't listen, or maybe there's a misunderstanding here. Anyways, thank
I'm
you for
sure
the
it was a
comment.
misunderstanding.
It was definitely a misunderstanding. So thank you for the comment, Philip. And yeah, I hope I've answered your question. Yes, you can use it as a booster. You don't have to. You can use it as your first and second vaccines. Good for you.
If you want to use boosters, if you want to get boosters, if you go and speak to your doctor.
Yeah.
Don't rely on what you're reading on the internet, or dare I say, Jay. Talking about people who want to come to Thailand at the moment who aren't vaccinated.
Yep.
Sure says it's 10 days for non-vax quarantine, or it's a question. Yes, it's a 10-day quarantine if you're unvaccinated. Special hotels, yes, they will be ASQ hotels. I'm guessing special upcharge also. Well, we've found in the past that the ASQ hotels weren't ridiculously expensive, although perhaps they weren't giving some of the big discounts when things were pre-COVID. So I think some of the 14-day quarantine packages started around about 30 to 35,000 baht. So 10 days you'd be hoping would be a lot cheaper than that. And that included the food,
Okay.
which varied in quality, apparently.
Cool. I've got some comments from Facebook. I've got Alan Stephen, who is saying that I heard Andrea Bocelli is doing an after party at the club Illusion in Patong, Phuket. For those of you who are not aware, Illusion is one of the biggest nightclubs in Phuket. So imagine that, Andrea Bocelli after New Year's doing a EDM electronic music special at Illusions in Italian.
Yeah, Andrea Bocelli would be... Oh, I'm going to have to ask this, I'm sorry.
Andrea Bocelli.
Shh. I've got to be careful.
Oh, okay.
What's she called? Oh, Siri. Hey Siri, how old is Andrea Bocelli?
Andrea Bocelli is 63 years old.
Oh, he's all right.
Yeah, he's not quite the age group of people going to Illusion.
Yeah. There we go. Tim's plugging Apple products again. Blah, blah.
Scotty B asked the question, will bar staff be required to have COVID vaccines? Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say definitely. Whether they do or not is another question, but they would definitely be required if they're going to be interfacing with foreigners.
Okay.
Tim, what's your guess for the number of tourists coming in November and December? A question from Mandabel. Oh, you going to have a guess on this one?
No.
You didn't actually hear the question.
I didn't. I was looking for questions on
So
YouTube.
you can have a read of that whilst I'm having a guess.
Okay.
I know the TAT, tell me if I'm wrong, said
Okay.
that they expected 1 million tourists to come in the last quarter of 2019.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Did you hear what I said?
No, I did not. I'm trying to focus on the questions that I have to read. It's so difficult to do it live.
Yeah, preparation.
There's nothing to prepare when it's live.
So there were... Now I've forgotten what I was talking about. The numbers of people. So the TAT said that there were 1 million tourists
Yes.
going to come into Thailand in the Q4.
Yes, that's November, December, January, February, March.
Okay, so the 2 quarters, the end of the year and the start, 1 million tourists.
Yes.
In 2019, we had 39.5 million tourists for the whole of 2019.
Yes.
So the TAT is saying 1 million for those 6 months.
Yes.
Okay, I've got to make a guess. November, December. I think there could be, because people are going to remember this and bring it back to haunt me. I'm predicting 120,000
Yeah.
tourists in November and
Oh, wow. Okay.
250,000 in December. There you are. 150 November, 250 in December.
I was going to say 200,000 for those 2 months combined.
All right, well, let's put those down and we'll see, because they will remind us, I'm sure.
They will. Anyway, I've got a comment here from Bill C who says, I can walk into any Walgreens and get Pfizer and Moderna for free. Walgreens.
Oh, I think that's like a Boots.
Oh, okay.
So we have Boots in Thailand. Walgreens is like a sort of a pharmacy chain.
Well, Bill C, I don't know where you live, but good for you.
Yes. I think the situation in the United States is that they will give you a free car and a holiday to Tahiti if you'll get vaccinated at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of promotions around. Coco, a member, has said, same situation, there's no way to add my vaccine records from the US too. I keep my Morchana QR whenever I travel in Thailand. Obviously talking about vaccine certification and proof of vaccine. My Morchana app was automatically updated, so obviously the information that they put in when I was vaccinated has somehow ended up on my Morchana app, which is great.
Okay. Michelle Everett says, how long will it be before Thailand completely opens? Well, Michelle Everett, the information we have currently is that November 1st we will be open to around, we will be having a reopening, no quarantine for 47 countries, 7-day quarantine for...
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Because I think the question is, when will Thailand be fully open? In other words, no tests, no quarantine, walk in, get a stamp, go to the bar.
At least another half year.
Yeah, I was going to say, if no other black swan events happen between now and the middle of next year, I'm thinking about middle of next year as well.
Yeah.
But everything is just going to have to go well and no more black swan events. I noticed just checking Worldometers. Do you ever check the COVID world stats?
All the time.
I noticed that we're about to click over 5 million COVID deaths around the world, which is a horrible milestone. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that we've been through the first, second and third wave. These waves are very easy to see on the graphs. And there has been a huge decline for the past 6 or 7 months. Mm-hmm. And it's now just starting to go up again.
Right.
Are we facing a fourth wave? And the same with deaths. The death rate has been dropping. This is the world stats. Very, very quickly over the past 5 or 6 months. But it's now turned the corner and it's starting to creep up as well. So, this is live, so we can't edit that in later. But maybe I'll get those graphs out tomorrow, because I looked at those a few days ago and thought, do we have a fourth wave on the way?
Hope not. Hopefully not.
Okay, so from Dark Side, New Zealand's PM has warned those unvaccinated of consequences from becoming second-class citizens unable to access some public services. Has Thailand proposed something similar? We were talking about the vaccine mandates a bit last week. Now, in Thailand at the moment, you are not checked if you've been vaccinated to go into shops or theatres.
Yes.
And we were asking the question earlier in the year, is this sort of thing going to happen? It looks like Thailand is not going down that vaccine mandate sort of track. Mm-hmm. To get on a plane at the moment, you do need to be vaccinated. We're talking domestically. Maybe to enter some services in the future, people are going to say, show us your vaccine certificate. That hasn't started at the moment. They were even talking, if you remember when they were talking about reopening restaurants, that they're going to only open restaurants to vaccinated people.
Yes.
That didn't happen.
Yes.
So at the moment, I think the answer is generally no in Thailand. Right. But watch this space.
Watch this space. Anyways, Jeffrey Todd says, oh my God, I caught a live. Hey guys, best channel on YouTube. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Prince Tom says, hi from Chicago. Hello, Prince Tom. And also a quick shout out to Scott D. Phuket says hello.
Just Phuket?
Oh, sorry, not Phuket. The rest of Thailand as well. I keep thinking we're in Phuket.
Where are you today?
Where am I today? Where am I? I'm on the Bangkok skyline.
Scotty B says, Nick Dean has a bar called Hacienda in Pattaya, has a fun channel with Martin Carlisle. Oh, I think we've just promoted somebody else's channel.
Oh.
Nick Dean, I've seen Nick Dean on, hello Nick. Steve Austin's, they're all answering each other's questions. Why are we even here? We'll just let them go.
Yeah.
I think the easiest thing to do is just to turn this around and let people, they can just watch it, where we can just sit here and do nothing.
They're watching the show within the show. It's the Matrix. Where are we?
You got other questions that came. These were questions that came. Oh, you're onto these ones.
I'm onto these ones. I'm done with my questions.
Oh, okay.
already. Yep.
We'll do a few more, then we'll turn it off.
A few more, and then we'll say goodbye. So,
Question: will fully vax status be revoked when new booster is approved? Will fully vax status be revoked when new booster is approved? Well, that's going to be a difficult one if they're going to say, well, unless you've got the brand new super duper turbocharged triple pike with twist vaccine, we won't let you in the country. Sorry, we're not going to approve the AstraZeneca or the Sinopharm or the Sinovax. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. And it's been proven that most of these vaccines, even the much maligned Sinovac, have been given people a certain amount of... just looking at these two idiots on the screen doing their thing.
distracting.
Us. They've basically been giving people levels of protection, certainly different levels of protection, but levels of protection stopping people from getting seriously sick and hospitalisation and, in the worst case scenario, death. So they are working.
Right. Martin P says, Tim, the Thailand Cultural Centre is requiring vaccines to attend events. I did not know that, Martin. Thank you. I was actually planning to visit the Cultural Centre this week.
So is that determination of the Thailand Cultural Centre or the organisers of a particular event?
I'm guessing an organisation of an event?
Yes, I'm thinking that might be from the organisers, not so much from the venue. I don't know, just a guess.
Yeah.
I've been a member for 9 months, $10 a month, tons of videos on the members page, certainly are. We have, for example, Bangkok Pat
Yes.
is doing some fantastic videos for us at the moment, and they are available to members 2 or 3 days before they go live to everybody else. We are working on a members-only program. We were going to be starting one about 3 weeks ago, but it didn't happen. We apologise for that, but we are trying to work out what we can do to provide members with much better services. But of course, one of the main things it does is it does allow us to buy things like new microphones, expensive backdrops, and nice lights to make Jay look better.
That's right. All right, last question for today. Harlan's World says, are activities limited for non-vaccinated travellers? Thank you. Harlan, I can give you my personal experience. Activities are limited even for local people here who are living here and are not vaccinated. For example, while we were in Phuket, when we wanted to go play badminton, a couple of my friends were still waiting for their second vaccine shot, and we couldn't go play badminton because their requirement was people to be at least double shot vaccinated. So yes, certain activities in certain places will be limited.
Can I suggest
Very specific though.
that if you wanted to go and play badminton now,
Yes.
that may not be the case.
Yes, that might also be the case now. But this particular place still actually requires people to be double vaccinated.
Sudipto says, why is India excluded from the 46 countries and 1 territory when it has much less per capita cases compared to the US and the UK? That is a very good question. It seems that the 46 countries and 1 territory have been selected perhaps, I'm not putting words in their mouth, but perhaps because of high spending tourist value. Having said that, we know statistically that the Chinese and the Indian tourists are very big spenders. Now, a lot of people out there don't believe that, but the statistics prove it. When it comes to the Chinese tourists, though, they only come for 2 or 3 days at a time, and they don't stay for the 2 weeks. But their per day spending, per diem spending, is actually much higher than most European countries. So when you actually look at the statistics across a number of years, the Chinese have been big spenders and the Indians aren't far behind. Why they can't come to Thailand at the moment? The Indians were approved to come a few months ago, but that seems to have been revoked. Chinese tourists won't be coming anytime soon because they can't leave the country right now.
All right. Shall we end it there? Yep.
Oh, hang on. Is there any interesting one? Oh, here we go. Patio Steve's on his little bandwagon. On you, mate.
On your patio, Steve. All right. Those are all the comments for today. We hope that you enjoyed our show. If you do have any comments and feedback, please leave them in the comment section below. You can comment on our YouTube shows, on Facebook, on Instagram, or the Thaiger Talk forum on our website. That's all we have for today. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. And thank you very much to all the people who joined in on our rather impromptu Thaiger Bites.
Right.
But we might be doing more of this in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fun experience engaging with the audience.
Very stressful.
Yeah, even though most of you are having a conversation amongst yourselves, but it is always nice to get a question live. Anyways.
Good to see you all.
Yeah, good to
Even
see
you,
you all.
Patty or Steve.
Even you, Patty or Steve.
Got my eyes on you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the show. We'll see you tomorrow.